makes me want to shout. Woo! Hey, good morning. I am so glad you're here. I think there's a pulpit coming for me soon. If not, no worries. I feel free up here without that thing. I'm ready to go. Hey, I want you to turn your Bibles with me to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. And as you know, the most beautiful pulpit bringer of all time. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hopefully everyone knows that that's my wife. Just a recap on that one. I don't want you to think, wow, I like this church. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1 through 3. I want to read a passage of scripture, and we are in a series called Rise Up. Say Rise Up. Rise Up. It is a series in which we are believing for people to rise out of mediocrity, out of the norm, out of what has been, into what is coming, into what God is wanting, into the more in you. And if I was to put a title on this, I would title it what I spoke about last week is, if you're living with less, but you know that there's more, I want to just remind you you're in a good place. When you are living with less, but you know there's more, it isn't necessarily not a frustrating place. It is not necessarily something that is an easy to navigate place, but I want to remind you it is a good place. Because when I look through Scripture, there's not an individual that saw God move greatly that didn't feel this way. You look at Abraham and Sarah. They knew there was more, but they felt like they were living with less, and yet God brings a promise. There's David. He knows there's more for his life, but he's in a field taking care of sheep, living with less. Can you just turn me down just a little bit? I feel like I'm going to hurt somebody. And I'm not even preaching yet. Turn me down a little more. Can you turn me down in the house just a bit? Thank you. I apologize for that. But in Isaiah chapter 60, it's literally calling Israel to rise up. Say rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Man, there's something about, let's rise up into our God-given potential in order to win in every area of our life. That is God's plan for our life. God isn't wanting you to win in one area, two areas, struggle and get by. God is wanting you to win in every area of your life. And winning isn't always being victorious in every moment. Winning is pushing towards a winning place in your life. Sometimes I think we feel like we're failures because we've had failures. But just because you've had some failures doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. Everyone doesn't make every shot on the court, not even Steph Curry. If he shoots at 45%, he's on fire. Think about that. One of the greatest shooters of all time, and if he's over 40% winning, he's on fire. And we think if we're 80%, we're losing. Well, I had 4 things this week that just totally destroyed my week. Well, if you allow them to destroy them, they'll destroy you. But there was 100 things this week that could have made your week. There are those things that cause you to check and develop an understanding that God does want more. He wants you to put boundaries. He wants you to remove things. He doesn't want the same thing pulling you back, hindering you, entangling you. He wants you to move forward. He wants you to rise up. But you know what I realize is perfection isn't reality. God's not looking for perfect people. He's just looking for some people willing to be perfected. And so he's here with Israel, and he's speaking out of the prophet Isaiah, one of the major prophets in the Old Testament, and he is not just speaking to them. He is not just prophesying to what will come, but he is trying to get them to an understanding of who they are and who he is, with the knowledge of where they could go with who he is, with an understanding that there's something in their life that must rise up. Isaiah 60 verse 1 through 3 says, "Arise, shine, for the light has come. and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the people. But the Lord will, listen, the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. Nations will come to your light, and the kings to the brightness of your dawn. What God is saying here is you are in a dark time, but there's a dawn time coming. Night might be here in the moment, but dawn is coming in your future. And what happened with Israel is they got caught in a dark time. They got caught in a time where sin overwhelmed them, struggle overcame them, and they found themselves in captivity. And God is saying to them, no longer will you be held captive. You know what I realize? That it is so much easier to pull our lives out of captivity than pull captivity out of our lives. So a lot of people get free from the circumstance, but they live with the circumstance. They live with the guilt of what was, the guilt of what could have, the shame of what should change. So they got out of the situation, but they're having a hard time getting the situation out of them. That's what's happening in the life of Israel. God is trying to remind them that the situation isn't their God, that he is their God. That the situation can remind them where they've been, but God is trying to encourage them to where they're going. It is downtrodden them. It has pushed them into the dirt. But God is saying, no, this season, listen to me, Israel, rise up. You will arise, and not only will you arise, you will shine. Shine bright like a diamond. Sorry. Some of you know that Christian song, some of you don't. Shine. He's not just asking you to get saved, he's asking you to shine. He's not just asking you to get through something, he's asking you to shine in something. Shining. He's a shining star is what we say. Oh, she's a shining light. Her beauty's shining. Sometimes in life, you're making it, but you lost your shine. You don't have your groove. Not everyone knows, but you know. You're feeling it. You're feeling the circumstances, situations, the moments of your life. And the good thing is you can put the smile on, but you don't have to shine right now. God don't want you just to arise. He wants you to shine. He wants there to be a brightness. And what God is speaking to Israel is the shine that I'm putting on you isn't just going to impact you and those around you, but nations and kings will come. And it's crazy because Israel's thinking, how in the world, God, right now we're the lowest of the low, and yet you're talking to us like we're the greatest of the great. Because God's perspective is far different than humanity's perspective over your life. God always sees the greatness in your life. He always sees the possibilities of your life. And he has the grace and the forgiveness to remove what has ever been so you can become what you've always been called to be. See, God is looking at the potential of Israel, and he's saying, arise and shine, for the light has come. You know, when you begin to lose some of the shine in your life, you know, there's a saying, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but don't shade my shine. In other words, it's those people. You ever met the person that has a gift when you're excited about something? Like you're saying, oh man, I can't believe I finally did this. It's going to be incredible. And like, oh man, great that you did it, but it's about time. It's like, oh man, thank you so much. You know, it's, man, this is a great car. I just got a new car. Man, that is a great car. I would have got different wheels. They always have something just to pull the shine, just to dull light. But God is telling Israel, I want you to shine. And I think there's three things that I want to give you that helps the spiritual maturity, but the spiritual development of your life. Number one is fight familiarity. Fight it. Fight it. I've been thinking about the familiar spirit of my life. Because you know what? The things that become familiar never change. You can be in a bad relationship, it will never change because it's just familiar. It is what it is. That's what you say. I guess this is how it will always be. They are who they are. I'll never quite break into that position or that job. It's the familiar. But the problem with the familiar holds us back. Well, we love familiar. You love the seat you're sitting in because you sit in that seat every week because it's familiar. You go to the same restaurants because they are familiar. If you're going to pay for food, you want to make sure you're paying for something you like. There's a familiarity, and if not careful, you will get in the rut of everything that is familiar. And familiarity usually doesn't create greatness. Uncomfortable, struggle, discipline, push, getting up early, staying up late, not being familiar, not being comfortable. Getting my hair cut on this week, and I told the lady cutting my hair, I want you to go twice as short as you usually go. She's like, are you sure? I said, I don't know, but I don't want to be familiar. I know you think, well, who cares? It's a haircut. Okay, then do it this week. I'll do it for you. Come to my house. I will make you so unfamiliar, you will beg for mercy. But listen, everything you do, familiarity will bring mediocrity. When you become familiar with something, you have the tendency to water it down. You have a tendency not to appreciate it. You have a tendency. Israel is so familiar with God that they've lost their zest, their desire, their shine. And God is trying to get it back. In Mark chapter 6, verse 4, Jesus is in his hometown. You would think like, oh my gosh, hometown hero. Actually, it's the opposite. It says in verse 4, it says, Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his own town, among his relatives, and in his own home. He could not do any miracles there except lay his hands on a few sick people and heal them. He was amazed at their lack of faith. Have you ever become familiar with your faith? See, when you become familiar with your faith stops growing. Jesus walks into a place in which people were familiar. He wasn't Jesus, the Messiah. He was Jesus, the carpenter, to them. Yeah, I know you're doing some great things now, but Jesus, I remember you when you were a kid. Give me a break. Their familiarity of Jesus diluted the power of who he was. Sometimes we're in church so much, we get familiar with church, we get familiar with religion, we get familiar that we dilute or we water down the things of God. And so in the makeup of who we are, sometimes we try to shield people from the things of God instead of reflect the things of God. We try to water down the gospel because it sounds better to people than telling them about the love, the commitment that God has for them, and the power that God will do for them. We want to try to put a spin on it. Like, well, I don't want to be too Christian. Then what do you want to be too of? I don't want to offend them. Well, then don't. I've never had someone offended by me telling them Jesus loves them. I mean, they might be offended if I go up and say, hey, you're going to hell. They might tell me to go to the same place. I'm not talking about manipulating people or bringing guilt to their life. I'm talking about truth. I'm talking about shining. I'm talking about enjoying life and things in familiar. When you get familiar, when you get just normal, when things just are good but not good enough, but you'll settle there. You'll settle in places of familiarity, physically, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, mentally. When is the last time you challenged yourself to do something out of the norm? I just got on to sign up for this 5K obstacle run on Saturday. And I'm doing it by myself. That's when you're like, oh, poor Dave. No, I'm going to do it because I've always wanted to do one. It's in Tucson. I'm not doing anything on Saturday that I know of. But familiarity. It's easy just to wake up, watch TV, figure out what's going on, maybe go to the mall, but sometimes you just got to throw things in your life that will cause you to bring change, will cause you to go to the next place. God is bringing things in Isaiah chapter 60 in the life of Israel that now they're not familiar. They're not in captivity. No one's feeding them. No one's taking care of them. They're on their own. And God isn't just saying, you're going to shine, but I'm going to bring your sons and your daughters. I'm going to bring people that have become exiled and ran for their life. They're going to come back into the gates of Jerusalem, and I'm going to do great things with you. And I'm looking for someone that will rise up and believe in the things of God, that I want something great for your life. You've got to fight familiarity. The next thing in your life that you've got to do is you've got to begin to move in purpose, because it is the purpose of your life that increases the passion, and the passion is what advances the purpose. They're like Kobe and Shaq. They work together. Because when your purpose is met and it builds your passion will fulfill your purpose. It is one of those things that develops an understanding that there's more and I want more. Because God has put a purpose on your life. You can call it gifts, abilities. You can call it personality. Whatever you would like to call it. But there is a designed, destined, divine purpose on your life. That doesn't mean it's ministry or singing on the stage. Like, well, you're a pastor. That's a divine calling. You know what a divine calling is? Is being who God's called you to be. That is the divine calling of every individual on planet Earth. Is when you become who you are called to be, God divinely uses you. When you're walking in who you are, man, there's passion about it. I like passion. I like passionate people. I like people that are going for it. Sometimes it intimidates people that are passionate, people that are confident. Well, I'm just weak and I'm nobody in Jesus. That's not even scriptural. That's not meekness, that's weakness. God isn't after weakness, He is after meekness, but He's after for people that believe in the person that He's built them to be. The confidence in which God's called you to be. It's the purpose of life that I've put you in motion. I've put something in you that is great. See, God says that He wants you to not just arise, shine, for the light has come. The problem was not that the problem was not Israel, and the problem wasn't God. The problem was who Israel thought they were to God. See, this is where we struggle with our purpose and our passion. A lot of people think they're not good enough for God. Well, Dave, you're good enough. You're like a preacher. Yeah, that's because you've never seen me drive. Some of you have seen me mad. Maybe too many of you. It's okay. It's humanity. But I'm going to stay passionate. And I'm going to stay purposeful. Because I don't know people that reach their destiny that don't have a passion for their destiny. They don't have a passion for tomorrow. Okay, today was a rough day, but tomorrow's going to be a great day. How do you know? Because tomorrow's going to be a great day. Because I decide tomorrow's going to be a great day. Yeah, today stunk. The last 6 months have been pitiful. But tomorrow I'm getting up with purpose and with passion, because God said that I will arise and shine, for the glory of God is on my life. That God is awakening. Listen, to rise means to awaken, to get up, to come to let's go. Psalms 119:18 says, open my eyes that I may behold wondrous things out of your law. The psalmist is saying this: God, quit letting me see what I see. Why don't you let me see what you see? So I will see the wonders of God, the power of God, the ability to believe for something, the passion to go after it, and the purpose to know that you put all the things I need in my life to win with my life. It is the passion and the purpose of God. The shine. To shine, your light has come. Get your life back, your smile back, your confidence back. God is letting Israel know then it still lies within them. God can be the God of whatever, but if you don't become the person that God has created, the person that God has purposed, you'll blame God for what isn't. You'll blame people for what can't happen. You'll blame people for where you are. You'll blame somebody instead of believing in this one, yourself, to become somebody, to take the excuses off, to take the steps forward, to quit blaming individuals and say, no, there's a purpose in me. I've got to fire the passion to increase the purpose so that my purpose will continue to increase the passion. That's what God is trying to get out of Israel. God is bringing a motivational conversation to Israel. He's saying, arise and shine, Israel. Arise. Well, you don't know what we've been through. I know what you've been through. Arise. I know, but it's been tough. It has been tough. But arise. Your best days are ahead of you. Israel, your best days are ahead of you. Would you arise? All through from 58 to 66 of Isaiah, chapter 58 to 66, it is God speaking about who Israel is and who God could be to them. It is the encouragement. It is one of the greatest motivational speeches of all time. It is God trying to convince the people that He's convinced about who they are. Can I tell you something? God is convinced about who you are. Sometimes you got to put your convincing under. You got to become convinced of who He is. Man, He's got the best out for me. No, He believes in my future. No, He's empowered me to do more than I could think, imagine, or believe. No, God wants everything. God doesn't just want something. He's not low living in His thinking, not in my finances, not in my relationship, not in my process, not in my promises, not in my dreams, not in my abilities. No, God's ways are higher than my ways. This is what God has said about me. This is what God has said about Himself. That has to come with it, that your shine for the light has come. It's not coming, it's here. And a lot of times that's what we're waiting for, something to get started. I don't want to show of hands with anyone this year on December 31st at midnight. You're like, this year I'm going to get in the greatest shape of my life. There's a few convicted. This year I'm going to do this year. And then you even set your alarm on the 1st. Like, I'm not even working tomorrow. I'm going to get up tomorrow. And then you stay up till like 2. And then your alarm goes off at 7. You're like, I rebuke you. And you just allow familiarity. You allow yourself to shade the shine, the passion, instead of just getting up. Can I tell you something? The biggest battle isn't what you battle during the day. It's setting your mindset when you get up. How you arise is how you'll deliver. If you will arise in the morning, some of you just need to lay in bed. Oh, God, I know I'm not a morning person. I don't know why you created me this way. But I'm going to rise today. You're going to mark my steps. You're going to order my path. You got a light that's going to light my way. You are a God that has my best interest in hand. Today, God, I'm going to go and I'm going to believe. And it's just getting up and getting going. Listen, if you'll just get to the gym. Listen, even if you don't work out, even if you're the guy that just walks around the gym looking at people, you're going to burn more calories there than watching TV at home. Just get there and see what happens. You never want to work out until you work out, and then you say this, I'm so glad I worked out. It's a decision. It's arising and believing that God is with you. Matthew 28:20 says this, teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I've given you. And be sure of this, I am with you always. Say always. Always. Say it again. Always. God is with you what?
Always.
I'm with you always. All the time. That's good and bad. No, really. I'm not with you when you're praising the Lord. I'm with you always. When you're struggling, I'm with you. When you're sinning, I'm still with you. We have this mindset like when we do something wrong, that God like, whoa, I can't be here. I'll see you guys later. He doesn't exit left. Because Jesus Christ died for the sin. He's able to look through the blood. He looks through Christ into your life. And when he looks through Christ, he doesn't see the doubts. He doesn't see the lack of forgiveness. He doesn't see the mistakes. He doesn't have a picture of what wasn't or what isn't or what can't be. He's just speaking to the spirit of who you are, that you would arise. Arise out of this situation. Arise out of this sin. Arise out of this struggle. Arise out of this problem. Arise out of this mindset. Arise out of this insecurity. That God has something more for your life because God is with you. That God is with you. And Isaiah, James, will you come? Worship team, will you come? Isaiah says it the best. Arise and shine, for the light has come, and the glory of the Lord is what? Upon you. Arise and shine, for the light has come, and the glory of the Lord is upon you. Arise and shine, for the light has come, because the glory of the Lord is upon you. It does not say, arise and shine, and if you're good enough, I'll come upon you. If you'll arise and shine, I'll be upon you. No, it says, I am upon. It really should state that I am upon you, so arise and shine. I am with you, arise and shine. I am for you, so arise and shine. I've got something great for you. Arise and shine. I'm the God that created you. Arise and shine. I'm a God that loves you, so arise and shine. I'm a God that believes in you. Arise and shine. I'm a God that strength is enough for you. Arise and shine. That there's something in our life that we've got to arise. Arise for something. You can grab a chair in life and sit through it. But where you sit, it's usually in a place of familiarity. God isn't calling you to be familiar with everything that's always been. Step out. Get in the deep end. Take a different trip this year. Eat somewhere new this week. Like, mess me up. Come and sit on the left side instead of the right side. I'll call you on Monday. Hey, I missed you. No, I was there. No, you weren't. And by the way, someone was in your chair. No, I was on the right side. Oh, tricky. Because in our life, we choose familiarity because the unfamiliar of failure or possibility of failing or it not coming to pass scares us. That we would rather live in our average and know we're good than step for our greatness and wonder if we are. And I want to tell you, it's not I that tells you you are. It's God that tells you you are. And you're living with, you feel that you're living with less, but you know there's more because there's more. There's more in your life. There's more in your marriage. There's more in your future. There's more in your relationships. There's more in your finances. There's more in your businesses. There's more. Will you stand with me this morning? I'm so passionate about this message today because I know for myself, it is so easy to get caught in the familiar. Have the same friends. It's not bad, but who's stretching you? Who, when you get around them, you feel small? You know, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the best guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the most talented person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Now, if you feel like that's every room, then maybe, you know. What I am saying is arise and shine, for God is with you. Arise, shine in this season. Shine again. Get your joy back. Get your faith in who you are back. God has never faltered in the faith of who you are. God has never wondered. God isn't in heaven going, well, maybe not. No, he says, no, I created you with this, and this. And I'm going to push and pressure to see it come out of you. That's why God puts that there's more. I'm going to ask you just to bow your head, close your eyes today. If you are here today and you're in a season where you feel like you're living with less, but you know there's more, wherever you are, I'm not going to take a long time, wherever you are, I'm going to ask you to step out of wherever you are, and I'm going to ask you to come to this altar just right now. You know it. You feel like there's more, but you're living with less. You're in a season of less, even though you know there's more. Wherever you are, I just want you to get out of your seat. For some of you, this is unfamiliar ground. Good. I'm going to wait for you. Good. Come on. Arise and shine, for your light has come. Arise and shine, for your light has come. Don't want to miss you. I want to pray for you. We're going to worship together.